Several House Democrats are calling on Connecticut U.S. Attorney John Durham to resign, claiming he doesn't possess the personal integrity to serve in the Department of Justice. This amid reports that Durham is scrutinizing former CIA Director John Brennan's role in the origin of the Russia probe. Now, the same lawmakers are also calling for Attorney General Barr's resignation. Former federal prosecutor Stephen Mulroy joins us now. Is this a good strategy, Stephen, attacking their integrity?
Well, if you're asking for simply, is this a politically viable strategy, I suppose attacking the integrity of the investigator preemptively in case he says anything negative about the initiation of the 2016 investigation by the FBI into alleged Russian contacts with the Trump campaign. I suppose maybe from that perspective it is. But it's a little bit of a tougher case to make in the case of Mr. Durham, who has had a long reputation for being a pretty much straight shooter, career prosecutor who tells it like it is.
Yeah, throughout this process, these career straight shooters that everyone exalts, once they start saying things that one political side of the aisle doesn't like, they're the worst, most politically driven people out there. They shouldn't be on the case. Their careers mean nothing. I mean, this sort of thing the public has endured over and over again when it came to the Mueller investigation. Do you think it will have any sort of impact ultimately on the outcome of these investigations?
I doubt seriously it'll impact the outcome of the investigation, although I should note that in the case of Mr. Durham, he did do one thing which I think provided ammunition to his critics. He, a half an hour after Attorney General Barr publicly criticized the Inspector General's report, the Inspector General of the Department of Justice, Mr. Durham himself then also made a critical comment. This was highly unusual for a career prosecutor to do, A, about the Inspector General, who usually has a reputation for being nonpartisan and well-respected, and B, to make such a comment while his own investigation, Mr. Durham's, was ongoing. That unusual move, I think, has provided fodder for some of his Democratic critics to question whether he's really going to be a straight shooter this time like he has been in the past.
Well, Stephen, what about Brennan, though, in the sense that as more information comes out, that there's been a greater sense that he should be the focus of this sort of intense scrutiny and investigation, his calls and other things. Are you okay with this? Do you think that he is a legitimate person of interest in regard to all of this?
I think it's certainly legitimate for Mr. Durham to request documents and maybe even answering questions of Mr. Brennan, because the CIA was at least secondarily involved in the initial investigation back in 2016. However, I think it might be the case that the real focus here is on an FBI agent, Kleinsmith, who allegedly falsely denied in a warrant application to get a search warrant that he had gotten some of his information from the CIA. I think the focus may be on him from what we've been hearing, and if that's the case, then former CIA Director Brennan is really kind of a material witness as opposed to actually being the target of the investigation himself, or at least that's what it might be the case. Although there are some assumptions that we don't know how far up the ladder, the chain of command, any of this goes, and would someone be a rogue? Would a variety level, field level agent be so rogue that they would take it upon themselves to do some of the things that have been accused? We'll find out. Stephen, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.